Moms are some of the best people in the world, especially mine. She helps with the cleaning and, my personal favorite, the cooking. However, in my house, we only cook with vegetarian food, and as many people don't have that experience, I'm here to ask her a few questions to get a good grasp for everyone out there, the basics and the good and bad things about vegetarian cooking. So, the first question is what differences are there between vegetarian cooking and, say, more traditional cooking with meat?
Well, it's a little bit more of a challenge because if you are a meat eater, you've got a main course that can be relatively easy to prepare. Throw a steak on the grill, baked chicken, broil fish. That's a fairly easy cooking process. With vegetarian cooking, you don't have that luxury. You need to create a main dish using a variety of vegetarian foods so that you get your complete proteins. And that just takes a little bit longer and maybe a little more creativity in creating a main course.
Okay. So, um, what time did you start switching from traditional cooking to vegetarian cooking?
Well, when I met your father,
Hmm.
he did eat meat. He ate chicken and fish. But by the time we got serious and were thinking about getting married, he had become a total vegetarian. And so I kind of started vegetarian cooking while I was engaged to him, just seeing if I could do it for myself. And I was able to. So we'll be married about 29 years in June. So I suppose about 30 years is how long I have cooked vegetarian.
Okay. And what are some of the main ingredients, since you aren't allowed to use meat, that you use in your vegetarian cooking?
Well, we use a lot of beans because those are a good source of protein. We use a great many soybeans. But the great thing about soybeans is that they come in so many good varieties now. You can get uh, soybeans that resemble hamburger. You can get soy products that resemble chicken nuggets or chicken. Um, I am not a big tofu eater. Tofu is kind of a staple in a lot of Asian countries for protein, but we don't cook with much tofu. But we also have tempeh, which most people don't know about, but it's from Indonesia, and it is fermented soybeans that are an acquired taste for sure, but I really like them, and so I use those quite a bit. So so beans, and then dairy products that have protein, milk and cheese primarily, and thankfully our household is an ovo-lacto vegetarian household, so we can use eggs too, and eggs can provide some protein as well.
Okay. So, for finding these vegetarian products, since these don't sound like your standard Walmart great value, where exactly do you get or shop for these sorts of things?
Actually, Hy-Vee has a pretty nice selection of vegetarian substitute meat products. But we also like to go down to Kansas City to Whole Foods, just not for vegetarian, but for a lot of the other foods they have there. They have wonderful cheeses and just some really good sauces and things like that I enjoy cooking with. And then Trader Joe's has a whole line of vegetarian products, and in fact, if you ask them, they will give you a list of everything they have in their store that is suitable for vegetarians. So access is not really that difficult. And when I first started cooking vegetarian, it wasn't like that. You
Hmm.
really had to go to food co-op or else start from scratch, making making your bean like soybean products, and that was not fun at all. So things have gotten a lot easier, and it's surprising in a little town like Maryville what kinds of good products you can get for vegetarian cooking.
Okay. So, you just said that it wasn't fun to start from scratch, especially with soy products. what sort of soy products have you tried making from scratch before?
Well, I remember a grand experiment when your father and I were first married. We made tofu, and we had a big pot, and your father brought home a big bag of soybeans that he had bought at a food co-op, and it took us actually the whole day to make the tofu. And when we were done, we had a block of tofu that was probably about 4 inches in perimeter, and it just seemed like we had to cook those beans all day and then pulverize them before we had things like magic bullets, and then try to get them to firm into a block of tofu. I will have to admit it's the best tasting tofu that we ever had because it was very fresh. We had just made it and then we cooked it, but that was a real challenge. So in days before that was easily accessible.
Okay, so if that was a real challenge, then have you ever had any experiments or vegetarian recipes gone completely awry or bad incidents, as it were?
Not so much that have gone wrong, but I have made things that after I got done, I don't think they tasted that good. I think every cook has that dish that it just looks wonderful, and the recipe uses all these great ingredients, and then you put them all together, and it's like not so great. But I can't say that I've started any fires or ruined any dishes making vegetarian meals. They pretty much turn out the way I hope they will.
Okay, well, in that case, you're obviously a very, very good cook. So, what are some of your favorite recipes to make that are vegetarian oriented?
Oh, my favorite vegetarian. There's one that I have just recently started making, and it's a copycat recipe from the Cheesecake Factory. It's their Moroccan chicken dish, but instead of using chicken, I use a protein substitute made of wheat gluten called seitan, or seitan as it's pronounced in other parts of the world. And that's excellent. It's got a harissa sauce on it, and you steam asparagus and mix it in with the seitan and the sauce, and serve it over pearled couscous. And that's really a very, very good dish. I love to cook Italian, so especially if I can get some good Romano cheese or good Parmesan. And so anything Italian, lasagna. I have tried making ravioli from scratch, and that was interesting. So I love to cook Italian. And then I like to make stir fries. Just if I have veggies in the crisper, I'll see what I can throw together, and sometimes that turns out pretty good too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for interviewing me.
Okay.
I'm glad you like my vegetarian cooking.
It is quite delicious.
Well, thank you.
And as many people may know, mothers can do a whole host of things involving taking care of all of us, but perhaps my favorite is her cooking.